So welcome back to another video, and this time it is KE-jetronic. Yes, the electronic version, not really, still mechanical, but it's KE. Now I'm taking the opportunity because I got this unit from America. I'm in the UK if you don't know. This is on test, so I'm going to show you how to modify the KE-jetronics. Now remembering that upside down, the back to front, when you flow adjust them you've got to turn it out instead of in versus K-jet. So this is all good. The pressures are where they should be as the pressure testing video. If you look at that one, we've got just over 60 mils in 30 seconds, which equivalates to our 120 cc's a minute fuel minimum requirement. Again, the plate setup, these have got a different setting on the pin at the bottom. I'll go into that in another video. But now we're at the point, it's all balanced, we're all perfect, but we want some more fuel. How do we get more fuel? It's very simple. These, as you can see here, have got a external fuel pressure regulator, unlike the K-jet, which has got it inside. It's also got this here, which is a DPR, a differential pressure regulator. Now relevant to, there's a potentiometer on the other side, so relevant to that air flap's height, temperature, lambda feedback, all those sort of good stuff from the engine going to the ECU is how much current is sent to this part. How much current sent to it is relevant to how far. There's a little metal arm inside a magnet. So current goes through it and the magnet either pulls the arm or moves it. And obviously it moves the arm one way, more fuel goes. If it closes it, less fuel. So if you've got a problem somewhere and your car's in a limp home mode, so you're completely gutless, it will probably keep running, but it won't start again once it comes off. That's mainly because it's having a certain amount of current sent to this, which is closing the fuel supply really. So I'm going to take this off and I'll show you how to adjust fuel. So we've got it at the spec now, and I'm going to exaggerate what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn it way more than I would do normally, just to emphasize and show you how much difference turning what I'm going to show you to turn changes fuel. So when you're taking these off, remember this is a completely different system. This has been switched off for about 2 hours now and it's still got 0.8 bar fuel pressure inside it, so they hold fuel pressure a very long time. So if you're undoing these two screws, it will squirt fuel out, so just bear in mind that. And also these two screws need to be a specific type because there's a magnet inside. Bear with, there's a tractor going past. Not that I'll get anything against that, it's just easier for you to hear when there's not a tractor going past. John Deere. So these screws are specific non-magnetic ones, so they don't, when they're screwed in, they don't have an effect on what's going on inside. So I'll quickly jab them in it and then we'll take this off and I'll show you what we need to be looking at. So again, we're just taking it off, simple flathead. Obviously these can be tight, these aren't tight because it's been off quite a few times. So again, I've just cracked them off, so you'll notice the fuel squirt out. There you go. See, and that's just with 0.8 bar, so if you've got 6 bar fuel pressure in there, that's going to make a mess. So either leave it to the car solid cold or just gently undo them to give it a wiggle, get the fuel pressure out. Obviously I'm not using fuel when I'm doing this. This is a certain calibration fluid which I use, so there isn't really a fire risk because it's not flammable. Right, so simple 2 screws. This is your differential pressure regulator. What's annoying about these, you cannot replace these, and this is quite weighty. So this is what you got, fuel in and fuel out, and there's mated onto 2 O-rings sitting and there. So now what do we need to do? Well, you notice there's a flathead here. Now undo this. Again, this isn't mega tight because it's been off a few times. But again, when you're undoing this, be careful, because like I say, they are not replaceable. You can get them, I've got a couple. I'll show you. You can barely see this. If it will zoom in. It won't focus, but this thread is literally minute. Absolute minute thread. So once you've got that out, we'll move on to this part in here. Right, so I tried taking a picture of the thread on there, but I can't. It's that fine, so if you cross-thread it, and it's brass, if you cross-thread it, you're going to be in a world of pain. So now what you want, this little hole in here, tiny little Allen key, 2mm, put it in. Now, this is, there we go, we're in there. Now, this is a little, same as your flow adjusters on your K-jet that sit in the top. It's like that with a rubber seal around it. So put it in there. Now, to increase fuel, you want to turn it clockwise. To decrease fuel, anti-clockwise. So what I'm going to do is turn it one full turn clockwise, just to clearly demonstrate how to get more fuel. So simple. Right, so that's one full turn. So we'll whop it back on and run a test, and then show you the difference in the fuel. Now when I'm putting these back on, I like to put it in there and just use your finger just to touch on the threads. I speak from experience when damaging the threads on these, hence why I've got a few. So we'll run this for 30 seconds. I run it for 30 seconds, whatever reading you get, double it, and that is where you want to be. Now see, we're 20 stock, we've done a whole turn, so let's see what we're getting now. So just turning that half a turn, or the full turn, has taken that from 62 up to 78. So that's a lot of fuel. So there you go, that is how you get a lot more fuel out of a KE-jetronic unit. Now, obviously this was a factory unit, factory set, 120 cc's, or 124 cc's a minute, where it was. Now all I've done is turn the adjuster in the back of the DPR, one full turn clockwise, inwards, and then test it again over 30 seconds. That one full turn has given us 32 cc's of fuel per injector more over 1 minute. That's a lot of fuel. So obviously I've done that on the demonstration purposes, just to show you a clear, that has the effect on it, where really you only maybe looking a quarter of a turn, half a turn maybe, or even less than that. So that aside, that is how you're going to improve or modify the KE-jetronic. Now obviously flow balancing is slightly different, they're underneath as we've shown before, and to increase flow per cylinder you screw it out, not in. Again, we'll try and come onto the video where I've cut one apart, which is over there. I need to do it, but as a simple one, we know from the other video we've got our pressures set right, our 0.4 bar differential pressure between top and bottom chambers, perfect, happy with that. Our air flaps right, our fuel pin sits with the right free play, everything's working. Now you might say, why is this not plugged in? You don't want it plugged in. Now remember, these are mechanical units, it's mechanical fuel injection. Yes, it's got 2 electrical components on it, but it's still mechanical. So you want it to work and function and test it with no electronics plugged into it, because if you've got electronics there, you don't know what's being sent to it, blah blah blah. So have that plugged off, the same as you do injector testing, have that plugged off, so nothing's on there. Again, bridge your relay to the fuel pump running, lift your plate up, and then you can do injector testing that way. So there you go, that is KE-jetronic, how to improve it, how to get more fuel. Now this is the same principle on anything that is KE-jetronic, whether that's 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, or 5-cylinder, whatever. If it's a KE-jetronic unit and it has a DPR on the side, that is how you adjust it to get more fuel. Again, we're all balanced, we're all working as we should do, and there's your demonstration to get more fuel. And 32 cc's a minute extra fuel is a hell of a lot. That's, that's a good amount of fuel as an example. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Like I say, any questions, stick them in the comments. I'm always happy to help. Trying to get more K-Jet videos out, KE-jetronic, especially to people in non-UK countries where these were quite popular, or that's where they were sold for emissions mainly. So again, it's quite helpful for people looking to go, right, I've got this, what can I do to get more fuel? It's all working fine, but I need more fuel. Boom, there you go, there's more fuel. So there you go. See you in the next one. Cheers for watching. Bye. Sometimes I make